If you want to get the greatest impact and reach out of your live stream, then stay tuned because that's what we're talking about in this video. Today we're talking about online streaming platforms. Should you stream to Facebook, YouTube, both, church online? What's the best place to send your live stream? Now, real quick, if you're still hunting for the best gear for your budget, make sure you check out the free Church Video Gear Guide linked in the description below. So I'm gonna keep this one short. You should not be using Facebook as your primary live streaming destination. To answer the question why, we need to think for a second about the purpose and protocols of each platform. YouTube exists primarily as a visual search engine. It's owned by Google, or technically the Alphabet company, who owns the world's largest regular search engine, but you'll even notice in Google search, they'll bring up clips of YouTube videos that the algorithm has found and is gonna put in front of you to answer your question. YouTube is designed like a vault. Everything that goes onto YouTube is adding to a giant stockpile of knowledge. This is valuable for you as a church for two reasons. The first is discoverability. If you answer a question or put out really good content that lots of people like, it's going to continue to get picked up by the algorithm and pushed in front of other people over time. And so over time, you're going to see a greater return for that one video. The second reason is that, like a bank, YouTube essentially works like compound interest. When you put a video up on YouTube, whether it's live stream, DVR from a live stream, or just a regular upload, it doesn't just go up there, get seen once and disappear. It goes up there and lives up there forever. And yes, you typically get most of your views in the first 7 days after something is posted. But it continues to get views over time, especially if the algorithm recognizes lots of people are getting value out of some piece of content you put out. If you've ever seen my video with Churchfront, Jake and I are both on there together. I think it's almost a year old. It's currently around 68,000 views, and it probably got 20,000 of those in the first 2 weeks or maybe week after it got posted, which was awesome. But the beauty of YouTube is that that video has almost quadrupled its reach over time with no effort. Now, that video is a little bit different than a live stream, but the concept is the same. Content put on YouTube is going to have a longer shelf life and a longer return over time than stuff posted to Facebook. So speaking of Facebook, let's talk about Facebook's design. Facebook is not a search engine, nor is it like a vault of information. Facebook is designed to be like a constant stream or river of information being passed in front of you. Facebook's algorithm, Facebook's layout, everything about Facebook and Instagram is designed to get you scrolling. They want you continually looking for the next dopamine hit of seeing a post that's really interesting, funny, valuable, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, other than the fact that it kind of rots your brain and makes you addicted to it. But when it comes to your live stream, the reason I don't love Facebook as a home for your church's live stream is that it's in an environment designed to distract. When someone is on Facebook, they are not there to find one thing and live on it. So when they see your live video, they'll probably see it. They may even stop and watch a few minutes of it. But if you're thinking that they're going to watch an hour or hour and 15-minute live service on their phone on Facebook, it's just not a realistic expectation for somebody to stay focused. When you're watching a live service or even a recorded service on YouTube, pretty much nothing happens. There may be a chat if it's live, there's comments, but it's not designed to distract you and keep you looking for the next video until it's done. So thinking purely about the people on the other end of the screen, they're going to have a much better time engaging with what we're putting out there as a church for their benefit if they're on YouTube as opposed to Facebook, which is honestly trying to get them to not watch things for more than 30 seconds. Now, I know that many of you watching this like that Facebook gets more reach than your YouTube channel does. And yes, if you have not invested in YouTube up to this point, you are not going to see the same quantity of engagements or views as you will on Facebook. However, we need to think about quality views. Facebook counts a 3-second view as an official view count, and because videos autoplay, something that you aren't even watching on purpose counts as a view if it just lives on your screen for 3 seconds. Facebook is gonna give you faster, better numbers immediately. You're not going to have to do the legwork of building up a library over time and building an audience. But the trade-off is you're getting lower quality engagement and your stuff's shelf life is measured in hours. YouTube, like I said before, works like a bank with compound interest. You need to keep making deposits once a week, twice a week, whatever your content schedule looks like. But if you in a linear sense, keep adding, 2 videos a week, 2 videos a week, you're not going to see a linear growth curve of engagement. You're going to see an exponential growth curve of engagement because of that compounding interest of views. So as a church, you need to start thinking strategically about where your stream is going to go and what's going to have the best long-term impact and long-term audience growth. And I think without a doubt, YouTube is the place for you to invest. So as we wrap up, final question, what should you do as a church? Live stream to YouTube and then upload content to both platforms. Facebook and Instagram are perfect platforms for you to take the best moment of a sermon or even maybe a part of a worship set. Post it on there as a 5-minute, 3-minute, 1-minute clip, but you need to put content on those platforms so people are reminded that you exist. But you want to direct them from those places to your live stream on YouTube. So I would cut your sermon as a separate video file and upload that on Monday or Sunday afternoon. People are way more likely to watch that than they are going to be watching an entire hour-long service with worship. Now, some of you may be asking, what about church online? And here's what I would say to that. Church online is the best place to host live worship services, but you can't send stuff directly there. You have to use YouTube or another streaming platform to feed the video into church online. So if you're not using YouTube as your primary streaming destination, you need to make that switch first and then look at integrating church online. But today's point is that if you are using Facebook instead of YouTube because you get more engagement on Facebook, don't believe those numbers. They are lying to you. You need to start investing in YouTube, and within 3, 6, or 9 months, you are going to start seeing way more engagement through YouTube than you did on Facebook. And as we talked about, people are actually going to get better quality engagement with you on YouTube. So it's in their best interest and yours as a pastor shepherd to use that platform instead of Facebook for your primary live streaming destination. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment below if you have some thoughts about this. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on other content coming out to help you win when it comes to online church and live streaming. I'll see you next time.